Hello everyone and welcome to the next video. Something really rather different today. This will be the other word thoughts, but in the computer game The Endless Forest. Now, this is a rather obscure game. It's, I believe it came out in 2005, we'll read about it in a moment, but it came out a very long time ago and it's had various updates over the years. And I've known about this for some time, but I never really got into it. I wasn't sure that I would ever play it, especially because there's not many players online. This is an obscure, nature-based, experimental, massively multiplayer online role-playing game. Apparently you wander around as a deer who looks very much like the deer in the deer god in Princess Mononoke, and I believe somewhere on the FAQ there is a reference to the deer god in Mononoke. So what this will be is hopefully a relaxing video, wandering through the endless forest, and it will also be a discussion where relevant, where appropriate, of my plans for some game reviews. I hope to expand the channel. The channel is becoming more eclectic over the years. Not only in terms of outdoor videos, but also review type. I'm planning to create some game reviews, so I'll talk about that a little bit as we go. But this is really to highlight, I feel like it's a very much a other word game, a other word experiment. So let's read about the game before we get into it. The Endless Forest is a multiplayer online role-playing game for Microsoft Windows by the studio Tale of Tales. In the game, the player is a deer in a forest without direct goals or the ability to chat with other players. Pictograms above players' heads represent their names. Players communicate with one another through sounds and body language. Now there's just a few things here in that paragraph alone. Just the idea of playing as a deer fascinates me already, because some of you may know I'm a great lover of deer. I actually have several. I have the Monarch of the Glen, the painting by Edwin Landseer on my wall, which you can't see. I've also got this deer statue. Given to me by my brother in Glencoe. For my 30th, I believe it was. And I have all manner of, I've got a deer skull on my shelf, all manner of deer related things. And a deer features heavily in my world building project Sartoris, shared world building fantasy project with my twin. We have an enigmatic being called Satruna. Now, secondly, I'm very much reminded of some of the things I said in my article for developing ecocentrism in virtual worlds, where I talked about simply wandering through vast landscapes and entities being more scarce than they are in real, as they are in real life, creating a sense of wonder through scarcity, less densely populated creatures in biomes and in regions. Obviously, in most MMOs, there is highly densely populations of wildlife, which you kill for points and equipment, essentially. And I can imagine, because there are so few players in this rather obscure game, I can imagine it's quite a sight to come across another player, another deer. Already there's more of a sense of wonder there. And also, lastly, pictograms above players' heads. Very much, I feel like this game was probably a precursor to Journey, which is a game I played not too long ago. It's very much similar to that, where players communicate via pictograms and sounds. I'm just going to read a bit about the gameplay and then get into a very interesting point. You'll see this in a second. Relates to the registration for the actual game itself, but you'll see what I mean. The player begins the game as a fawn. Now, I've actually not read this yet. I've just downloaded the game and I'm hoping to play it. So the player begins the game as a fawn. In a little over a month, the deer grows up and becomes a stag. Common activities include exploring the forest, eating, drinking water and sleeping under trees. There are also social activities that deer commonly engage in, such as dancing, pool parties, hide and seek and tag. Abiogenesis is a mechanic that allows the developers to intervene directly on the game environment and allows them to change things in real time. There are a lot of associations with dreams and creative dreams that me and my twin had that sound very similar to this, and we always wanted to create our own online role-playing game and change the environment in real time. And obviously there are things like game masters in World of Warcraft and other such MMOs. But yes, this game is primarily a communication tool. It's also it's a casual game to wander around and enjoy. I've just seen the Endless Forest consists of 7 main areas: First Forest, Birch Forest, the Ruin, the Pond, the Old Oak, the Playground and the Twin Gods statue. And with that rather inspiring list of places, and I do feel like I could have made this game. Let's get into registration here. Name your deer in the Endless Forest. It is possible just to download the Endless Forest and play as a deer that does not differ in anything from the other deer. But why would you want to do that? Especially if you know that you can give your deer a nice glowing halo between its antlers. A halo surrounding a symbol that represents the name of your deer. Deer don't talk, humans do, especially in online games, and they make a mess of it. Slang and internet shorthand quickly destroy any illusion that the authors had crafted. No such thing in the Endless Forest. Deer don't talk. This is why your name is not a word but a pictogram. A pictogram in an invented language of which nobody knows the pronunciation. It's strange, but there's 2 things here. I wish that I had played this game when it first came out, because I've been reading community posts saying that there are some people that have been playing for well over a decade. The second thing is that I wish I had created this game. Now this is a really interesting thing, the Endless Forest deer registration. I was clicking through the random pictogram, list of pictograms, and came across this T-shaped symbol which almost look like an H as well if turned on its side. And I've chosen the name Satruna from Sartoris, our fantasy project, series of novels and novellas and short stories. I'm taking in the entire aesthetic of this page, and it looks like something that I would have created. And that's not to sound egotistical, it's just something that everything coheres here. That seems almost perfect. So, I appear to be in the Endless Forest. Unfortunately, I've not been able to get the settings just quite right. I'm in windowed mode at the moment. It's a little bit finicky. However, I have just awoken into the game. I've logged into the network, I believe, yes, Satruna, and there's my symbol. The reason I've chosen to record just now is that some player has appeared out of nowhere, a high level player I suppose, so I'm going to surprise this person by waking up. I have not actually, I think I can just click. And here's me, so I start as a fawn, and I can move around. Unfortunately, my computer isn't too high quality, high specs, so how can I move here? It's a little bit finicky. I think I can. Oh, I've laid back down again. I'm just getting my bearings here. I've recorded much sooner than I thought I was going to because this person has appeared. It's interesting trying to figure out which I think I can dance or greet this person here. Already it reminds me very much of Journey. And already there's a feeling of wanting to make a connection with this person. Verbally, however, so you can actually gain more knowledge about where you are and ask how long this person's been playing. But again, there's a surplus of communication in MMOs. The controls are a tiny bit finicky. I need to figure this out. Unfortunately, I can't quite click in certain areas. Huh, I did that quite intuitively actually. I clicked this. So I wonder how you actually become. I think you just. How do I see? This is such a fascinating experience because although it's a very simple game, although it's a very simple game, it's all about limitations and I'm trying to figure out the right word for this. Maybe it'll come to me as I play. It's not holding your hand, is it? The controls, instructions. Yeah, right hold is rotate, but it doesn't. Oh. Okay. This character here appears to have matured my own character in some way. I think he blessed my deer, and then I bowed to him rather intuitively. I was somewhat of a blur there, but I appear to have grown in size, and I have a rather impressive set of antlers. Oh, okay. That must have been some kind of special effect there, because the antlers have gone and I look younger. I think it's kind of a superficial gift, I suppose. Oh wow, that is fascinating. It's peacock feathers. I wish I knew how to respond. Well, I'm not quite sure what's happened here. I've clicked this particular button, I think it was this one here, and there are various icons. I think this will tell me the way to various important locations and features. Ah, yes. Huh. Oh, what's happened here? Seems to be blessing me again. This is such a enigmatic game. The toadstools here. It very much reminds me of some early experiences in World of Warcraft and Teldrassil, with the hazy line of trees. Everything seems mysterious, not mapped, somewhat of a fog of war that you have to gradually uncover. Everything is every new step reveals a new location, another mask. Oh, it's very much reminded me of Mononoke. My immediate feeling in interacting with this person is that I want to show more gratitude for the interesting things that he's doing for me in my first playthrough of this game. I wonder who this is and how he or she found me. It could be the creator of the game. It could be a veteran player. Already, so many questions spring to mind. I'm going to go explore and be a bit more bold and see if this person will follow me. And I will eventually talk about some plans for games and so forth, but this video, I think, will actually be more of an in-depth look at this game. Originally, I wanted just to use this as a platform to discuss reviews, but this is something in and of itself, I think, even just as an experiment for the channel. Oh wow. I'm already impressed. There can't be many people playing this game, and already in this area is that 3 people, or is that just 2? The game is lagging a little bit because my computer isn't too great. Wow. It's interesting, the variety of deer. Looks more like an ibex than a deer. Oh, is that? I wonder if that's a different person. Oh no, it's the same. Oh, he has a skin, as they say. It's interesting, it's 2025, and yet there's a feeling like online games are somehow brand new. Just in this interaction, that's the thing. If you take away the ability to communicate, suddenly just being online, it creates a whole new dynamic. You're very limited in what you can do, and yet somehow a single gesture means a lot more. So I think the other person is gone, and this person might be AFK, away from keyboard. I think there's actually 2 people there. But I'm going to go explore now. I might actually turn this into a multi-part series, because admittedly it is drawing me in much more than I thought it would. There's something so tranquil about these deer just sitting here. I'm surprised there's this many players in the immediate area, which is quite comforting in a way. I thought this game, I've played a lot of online games in my time. When I was a lot younger, I used to play online role-playing games, MMOs, really quite often. I used to trial various MMOs, about 30 or 40 over the years, and there was always a desire for something like this, I think, especially with a tight-knit community where there's not many players, but somehow every interaction matters. I wonder how you keep track of who's who, aside from marking the individual aesthetic of each deer. They have a gravitas to them. And I wonder how you get these different... Oh wow, look, there's the original. That's great. I love that I had the interaction with that large antlered deer that looks more like an elk. And then he's just doing his own thing across the landscape, which, again, this is something I've always said about old role-playing games, old MMOs. The sense of scale is vastly increased when there's just a foggy horizon. The less detail, the more scope there is for exploration and mystery and wonder. These menhirs here, standing stones. Oh. Trying to bow to the deer that just turned me into an almost white fawn. I need to, there's so many options. I need to figure out, how do I... So there's more options here. That's fascinating. I chose that option, and it was almost like I was going into nuzzle, which was very apt, but I wasn't even sure that I was going to do that. I can't quite see the icon, admittedly. Although it probably gives you options for thanking once the other player has given you some kind of blessing or special greeting. So this is definitely showing me the way to certain things, certain features in the landscape or certain new locations, which is exciting because this place looks rather enormous. Looks like we're going... Oh. I wonder what that sound was. Apologies, it's sometimes difficult to control. There's quite a few players here. I can imagine people just soaking in the atmosphere of this place. Here we go, here's a body of water. Oh wow. Can I even swim? That's probably dangerous. I wish I could zoom in a little bit more. There's a surprising amount of players. I'm quite impressed. 1, 2, 3, and 4 over there. Oh, maybe even 5. Although I've just realised I think I'm back to the start of where I was. So I'm not sure if you marked the music change there, or the ambient change. Somehow ominous. I love the combination of the slightly darker music with the lone deer sitting there. Ah, I tried to cross the bridge, but something strange happened. Who knows what's on the horizon? Who knows what's out there? I think there's a birch forest still to come. There's old ruins. There's apparently some kind of monument called the Twin God Monument or something like this. I have to take a look back at the variety of biomes to explore. So if you hover over, it does give you different options. So that one was a nuzzling one, I think. A kind of a more intimate greeting. Almost looks like hyacinths. I was about to say bluebells, but I think they're hyacinths. That's surprisingly, I was about to say it's surprisingly nice graphics, but I'm known for appreciating very old style graphics. Because I'm stuck in the past. Almost looks like birch trees here, actually. So before I go on, I think I'll stay here, sit down, nestled in the wildflowers, hidden almost. So the reason I'm playing this game is that I've been thinking about playing more games, and this appeared to me. I rediscovered it, as I might have said in the intro, and I want to make the channel even more eclectic than it has become and is becoming. I would like to perhaps review some games, maybe even some films as well. Look more at individual art pieces and things like this. Just make the channel more broad. Obviously, I am trying to branch out with different outdoor videos. For example, the Stowe Gardens video and the Virginia Water Park Lake video. That's kind of a push to make the channel a bit more nature and heritage oriented. But I do want to just create more, a variety of videos, especially with reviews covering different types of media. So again, games and films and artworks and so forth. Deeper analyses of other types of media, not just books. And I do recall that I once created a video called My Treasured Creations or something like this. And in that video I talked about my favourite things generally, not just books. So I want to record and write a script for the game Gorogoa, which will probably be my first and most important, I think, in terms of the smaller game reviews. So there will be game reviews for Gorogoa, The Longing, Journey. And Journey is a game very much reminiscent of this game, or vice versa. Creeks, Firewatch perhaps, Shelter. There's a lot of games that I've played. I don't play many games, I don't play games often, but plenty of games to review. The channel should not just be about books. There's Mundown as well, or Moondown. Slightly different from other games that I've played, in that it's kind of a 3D horror game, atmospheric horror game. All sorts of games. Now, let me just change my position for this particular discussion. Try and get to a higher place. That'll do. I would like to make a video eventually, probably not just a review, but a more in-depth documentary about World of Warcraft, looking in depth at what that game means to me. So it won't just be a review; it'll include lots of footage, different sections on different parts of the game, my history with it, and much more in-depth, kind of almost like a vlog/review hybrid. That would be kind of a major. That's always been a major goal for the channel, I think, to create a World of Warcraft video. Of course, I've talked about it in the past, but this will be the World of Warcraft video. So that's really it for games. I think I'll definitely review films. I know that there's plenty of films I want to review, especially films like Princess Mononoke, Kingdom of Heaven, The Witch, and so forth. Lots of films that mean just as much to me as a lot of books do. Some films even more than books in terms of how much I love them and how much they kind of mean to me. So what I'm really craving in this game is a map to find my way around. Well, you can sprint a fair while actually. You can sprint a fair way. I wonder what the options are for returning to the starting area for I'm not quite sure what that effect is here. I have just been turned into a squirrel. There was a strange effect on that tree. I'm not quite sure what that was, but the game becomes even more enigmatic. This deer with so I'm just captivated by the different options, and this deer with the rose petals on his antlers has turned me into a squirrel. And I'm trying to interact in a way that makes sense as a squirrel, but I don't think I have any decent options. There's an almost very mysterious and spiritual quality to this game I did not expect it to have already at this point. I think I've always felt this about games, especially in World of Warcraft. With its low fidelity graphics and its, especially in the old days, its focus on atmosphere, and you don't need much. You really don't need much to become immersed in a world like this. I find that no matter how, I'm quite interested in aesthetics, very much so in fact, it's mostly what I write about. I find that even very low fidelity graphics, they just work. Sometimes more so than these hyper realistic AAA games, because they leave more to the imagination. And indeed, there's a lot to say there about the dynamics of enchantment, the kind of balance between figuration and abstraction. I could just stand here for quite a while actually. I always feel bad about leaving people behind. For example, we were having a moment there. I've just broken the connection. And this seems like a fantastic place to end once we have explored this new area. This is what I've been waiting for. even though I've stopped playing games often, I've not played an MMORPG for a long time. Just the idea of exploring a new area that's completely unmapped. Oh wow. We appear to have entered some kind of cemetery ruins. I love how customizable the deer appearances can be. And already there's just so many more players. There's so many questions I have, and I'm probably going to be researching this game after I finish this little playthrough, this little experiment. Already I'm very much more surprised. I thought there would be absolutely no one in this game. And it already feels more populated and alive. I think I might leave it here. It looks like there's a kind of a crypt that you can go down to. But I like this idea of being in this hub area. This strange little game, this obscure game, has called the Endless Forest. Has kind of awakened in me or rekindled rather, a love of online games. A lot of respect for the people that made this game. I have to say, I'm just remembering the part at the very beginning when I was setting up this character and figuring out how to play the game, when I registered my deer's name and it talked about humans being endlessly noisy, whereas deer don't talk. And there's already so much there about the ethos of this game and what matters to the people who made it. So that has been somewhat of a strange experimental video for the Otherworld channel. With a bit of a vlog update telling you that I'm going to be doing more types of reviews, especially game reviews, and an exploration of the Endless Forest, an obscure online role-playing game about wandering an endless forest as a deer. So thanks for watching everyone, until next time.